Alright, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue our Washington Capitals GM mode commentary. We're all the way into free agency, just ready to start up year 2 here. Alright, but this is going to be a big day because in the last video I was showing you the roster spots that we have to try and fill up before we go into year 2. Because we want this year to be a better year than the first year. A lot of our young guns have gotten a little bit better, a lot better in some cases, like Backstrom. All right, and our goalies have gotten a lot better. So we should be no doubt a playoff team this year. But still, we got to fill up those third and fourth lines because that was what was weak last time. All right, so once again, let me just show you guys. Forwards, we got Ovechkin, Backstrom, and Eriksson on our first line. Our second line is Stastny, Ribeiro, and Johansson. Our third line is Brooks, Perreault, and Chimera possibly. And then the fourth line is Hendricks. So we can either get 2 fourth liners or 1 third liner and 1 fourth liner. That's all we need to do to fill up the forwards. Then we should have 12. And then defensemen. We got Green, Carlson, Alzner, Schultz, Barker, and Orlov. We already have 6 defensemen, but a lot of you guys were saying that Orlov might not be the best way to go because then on the third line, we're going to have Barker and Orlov, and they'll both be offensive defensemen. And that was one of the problems last year. We were allowing way too many goals, and I kind of agree with that. So I have a few different options I can do here when it comes to the trade. I won't get into it just yet, all right? What else I want to say? Yeah, it was another comment about Mike Green, basically saying that he's not worth $6 million, all right? He's already hit his 4.5 white stars. He's capped off, all right? He's not getting any higher than 85. I'd agree with that. He's probably going to hover around 85 for the rest of his career, all right? But the only thing is he's 27, so he's still young enough, all right? He's an offensive defenseman, and his offensive stats are pretty good. Look at his passing, his puck control, his offensive awareness is 90, so he definitely helps out Alexander Ovechkin 5v5 on the power play, all right? But I still agree that he's not worth $6 million, but it's only for another 2 years, so hopefully we can afford it for another 2 years, then we can drop him down maybe in that year, all right? But also, what I was going to say is that Mike Green, yeah, he's a player for us right now, but he could very easily be replaced by Josh Morrissey, all right? I mean, I'd like to have Josh Morrissey and Mike Green on the first line together because that would be a filthy offensive line, but if Green's salary cap gets way too much, well, then that will be the perfect replacement for Green in like 3 or 4 years, 2 or 3 years maybe, all right? Josh Morrissey can come up because Green is only 85. Morrissey, I'd say he'll get to an 85 in what? 3 years, maybe? Yeah, probably 3 years, maybe 4. All right, so we have that move in Mike Green if we want to save some salary cap. And goaltenders, all right, so I want to get this out in the open right now. So we're going to be trading Michael Neuwirth in this video. A lot of you guys were saying that I should be trading Neuwirth for that Norbert Klein guy from the Colorado Avalanche, another goalie, all right? And I would love to do that. That would be perfect. But here's the problem. We're going to run into a goalie controversy once again, just like Irving and Dubois, all right? Klein is going to be Dubois and Holtby's going to be Irving, basically. All right, so what I want to tell you guys is that we have Holtby signed for 5 years at 3.55, all right? He's a steal for 3.55 mil, all right? He's very low. He got us into the playoffs last year. He did good, and he did good at like 74 or 75 overall. He's now jumped to 83, and he's still getting better, all right? Holtby is going to be our goalie no matter what. I don't care if Klein comes in and he's the better goalie, you know. I don't care. Holtby is our goalie. Until Klein can prove to have a better overall, to have better statistical season numbers, all right, and until his contract needs to be signed, like he's out of his minor league contract, Holtby is our starter, all right? So I don't want to hear any goalie controversy. Holtby is the man right now, all right? So speaking of Klein, let's go see if we can make that trade because that's what we got to do before we sign any free agents. We got to get rid of Neuwirth and then see what our salary cap looks like after that, all right? So Klein was on Colorado. Let's see who he is. Let's see. Goalies. Let's see what his trade value is pretty high up there, so I'd say it's probably the same around, what's his name? It's probably the same as Neuwirth, so this might be just a straight-up trade here, all right? But they don't want to give him away either, so this could be tough. Who else do they have here? Picard, who's 21. Varlamov. I mean, they already got one of our Washington goalies, Varlamov. Now they're getting another one. How good is Picard? He's 4-star. I mean, we could make a trade for Picard. It'd be easier to get, and he'd be a 4-star goalie. He'd just be like another backup, just like another Holtby. But you guys probably want me to go after that superstar right there, that Klein guy. I wouldn't mind getting him either. Now remember, 3 years left on his deal, so I don't want to be hearing anything until we have to sign into his real deal, all right? Might as well just keep him as a backup while he's nice and cheap like that, and then decide in the 4th year what you want to do with him, all right? So Klein for Neuwirth, let's see. So both, they want Neuwirth, but they don't want to give up Klein. I could see that trade working, but I could also see it falling through. All right. Now hang on. Let's see if there's anybody else on their team that we can tie this in with. Now they have Eric Johnson. I would love to get my hands on Eric Johnson because he's that defensive defenseman that we need that could play on the first line with Mike Green, right? Then you got Alzner and Carlson on the second line, and then you could have like Barker and Schultz, or Barker and Orloff, or Orloff and Schultz on the third line. All right. He's a good defensive defenseman. I'm just trying to think. If I try to get him, who would I have to give up in this deal? He's quite a lot of trade value there. Okay, let's just try it out here. All right, if I'm going to be giving up, because I want somebody to play alongside of Mike Green. All right, I want somebody, and I want Alzner and Carlson on the second line. All right, so right now, who do we have playing alongside of Mike Green? Who is it again? It's Green, Schultz. Yeah, it's either Alzner or Carlson, because then the second line, yeah. Yeah, I want to get somebody else to play alongside of Mike Green there. So, Neuwirth, if I'm going to make this trade go through, I don't think I can make this trade go through the way it is right now. I'm going to have to give up, let's see here. If I can go into the season with Alzner, Carlson, Green, and Johnson on the first line, and then Orloff and Schultz, maybe I should trade away Orloff. If I'm getting back Eric Johnson, I mean, this is a big trade, and they would want Orloff. That wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind giving up Dmitry Orloff if it was for, Eric Johnson, because we've already replaced Dmitry Orloff with Josh Morrissey, basically, that young offensive defenseman. Don't get me wrong, Dmitry Orloff is a great defenseman, but if we're going to get Klein and Johnson back, we're going to have to give up a little bit here. All right, so Neuwirth and Orloff, I like that. All right, I don't think they would accept that just yet, and I'm going to have to give up a little salary here. Hang on, defenseman, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it would be Johnson. No, so we can't give up any defensemen. Wilson, give up this Wilson. It'll go through if I give up this Tom Wilson guy. Tom Wilson's 4-star, but he's 19 years old, power forward. A good player to keep for the future, but again, we're a right now team, and I wouldn't mind making this trade for Eric Johnson. He's 25 years old. I mean, he would be a franchise defenseman for us at 5.8, which isn't bad for him, and 4 years left. That's not bad either. Yeah, I wouldn't mind incurring that kind of salary. The only problem is now that if we make this trade for Johnson, we're not going to have any room to make any free agent signings, but that's okay. Because I need to build this defenseman right now. Let's see if there's any other forwards I can give up. Let's see. No left wingers. No, I'm not giving up Louis Eriksson or friggin' Alexander Ovechkin. Johansson, no. Backstrom is still friggin' injured. Hopefully he comes back for the season. Ribeiro, no. I think I got to get rid of Brooks Lake eventually. I'd want to hold on to Brooks Lake this year, but I'm just afraid of him dropping down to like an 81 overall with that kind of salary. No one's going to want him. All right. Now, if I free up, because then I could just sign a third liner. He won't be as good as friggin'. No, you know what? I think I got to do this. I think I got to try this at least, because they want Brooks Lake as well, and they can take it. Yeah, you know what? I know this trade looks a little steep, boys, but I'm getting like a goalie of the future for us, and then our top 2 defensemen that we can use that can play alongside of Mike Green. You know, you got that defensive defenseman with the offensive defenseman. It's perfect. Norbert Klein, Eric Johnson. I'm just trying to see. All right, so Neuwirth and Wilson would make sure Klein would go through. Would Orloff and make Johnson go through? Probably not. I don't think this trade will go through. Even though they want all of our players, I don't see them giving away these 2 guys. Let's see if it'll go through. All right, will Klein and Johnson be a part of the Washington Capitals? Yes, it did, and here we go. We believe this transaction will contribute to our success here in Colorado, so we are accepting your trade offer, all right? So there we go. Colorado got a pretty good deal right there. They got a goalie right now, all right, in Neuwirth. All right, we didn't want to sign Neuwirth, way too expensive, so we needed to trade him away. They got Dmitry Orloff. All right, they needed a defenseman to replace Eric Johnson back there. All right, and then they got Wilson, who's a 4-star player for us right now, but he's in the 50s, so we know we're not going to use him. I can easily replace him. And who else did they get? They got Brooks Lake. Now Brooks, he was somebody I did not want to give away. If you're going to say that I extended it a little bit in this trade, it was because of Brooks Lake. back. All right, he's definitely somebody who can help out our team right now. But I liked Eric Johnson better than Brooks. And Brooks' salary cap, I was not too crazy about anyways. And since he's playing on the third line, we can find somebody, maybe not have the as much offensive touch as Brooks like, but since it's the third line, all I need is somebody with a good defensive touch. All right, so now we can go into free agency. Hang on a sec. How many players under contract? We got 32 players under contract. All right. So now we're going to need 2 third liners and a fourth liner. All right, we already have our defensemen. We already have our goalies. Now we just need those 2 third liners and a fourth liner, all right? So forwards, who do we have available? We have $4.8 million to work with. It's not going to be Clowe. It's not going to be Higgins. Way too much salary cap. I need somebody with, like, a third liner with, like, 2 mil. Something around that area. Ryan Smith, no. Dan Cleary. Can Dan Cleary play the penalty kill? Maybe a little bit, not too much though. Wojtek Wolski, no. Handzus can take face-offs and he can play the penalty kill. Yeah, you know what, Michael Handzus, look at those defensive categories. That's not that bad. And he only wants 2.6. All right, so Handzus so far is our best center. Dustin Penner, I want to get Dustin Penner. Dustin Penner and Handzus, that'll be close to 5 mil right there. And I need 3 players, so hang on. Desharnais. No, he's not good at face-offs. Armstrong, no, I'm not going to get Kobe Armstrong. Holloway's really good at defensive. Yeah, Holloway's not that bad. We know what Holloway's about. Manny Malhotra for face-offs. Okay, I gotta get Manny. At 1.780, he's a perfect penalty killer and maybe fourth liner for us. I gotta get Manny. All right, no doubt. We'll give him 1 year. Yeah, I just want to give him 1 year because I don't want to go crazy here at the salaries. This is why it's good for the Brooks Like trade, because now I'm freeing up salary cap for next year. All right? So Manny Malhotra will give you an offer. Hang on a sec, boys. Let me blow my nose here. All right, so we sent Manny Malhotra an offer for 2 mil. We need... There's not really anyone... Yeah, it's everyone above right there. What was Lapierre like? Probably horrible discipline. Yeah, horrible discipline. Osla... no, thank you. All right, so I got Malhotra. I need one more guy. Possibly one more third liner to play alongside of Malhotra and Perreault. Desharnais is not bad offensively, isn't he? I could get him on the third line to fill out, and then... But I want to get Dustin Penner. Yeah, I want to get Penner. Oh, who's better? Yeah, Penner's better for the body checking, and he's got pretty good... But you know what? Desharnais would really put some offense into that third line, which I need. You know what? I want to get David Desharnais. How many years? Ooh. I could give him 2 points. I would have to give him 3 mil if he wants that 1 year. What about Penner? So want 1 year? Ooh, Penner wants only 2.6. You know what? I'll get Dustin Penner. Yeah, I'll get Dustin Penner. He's cheaper. It'll be easier to grab, all right? So 2.7. So Manny Malhotra and Dustin Penner. Let's see if they'll join our team here. These guys, I'm hoping they can replace Brooks Like, what Brooks Like does for us, all right? Probably won't help out the offense, but I'm making that trade. We had to make a good trade there for Eric Johnson and for Norbert Klein. All right, and I didn't have any young prospects that really weren't worth much, like in the first year that I could have traded away. They had to give up something, and they got a good goalie in Neuwirth. They got Brooks Like, and they got Dmitry Orlov, who was pretty good as well. They got a good end of that deal, but I definitely think that we got a good end of it as well. So Dustin Penner and Manny Malhotra back on our team. $1.5 million to work with here. Let's just sort by... I'll still go unrestricted. Let's see who's available. 1.5. I got to go all the way down, find somebody 1.5. All right, Brent Sopel. No, I need a forward. Holloway. No, he's 1.9. Figurin. No. Eminger. No. Chris Neal. I could get a tough guy. You know what? We'll get a tough guy. Why not? Actually, what was this Oslo guy? No, we'll get Chris Neal. We need some toughness back there, maybe for the playoff run. All right, 1.5 for Chris Neal. There you go. All right, so we built our team. Ooh, actually, last but not least, almost forgot, all the rookies. We got to re-sign all the rookies. All right, so hang on. Let me get all these guys. 26, too much. 20 years old, Beaupre. Let's see. We'll give you 7.5 for 3 years. All these guys who are lower than 22 years old, I'm going to re-sign right now. We're going to bolster back up our prospect pool. All right? Even though we traded that Wilson guy away, don't worry about it. I know he was 4 stars, but still, we needed to make a trade like that if we were going to get these good players back. Murphy, 1.1, there you go, 3 years. Weston, he's Red Star. I'll leave him alone. No, that's everybody. And goaltenders... We sign any other goaltenders? I could sign a backup, but we could just leave. We could let Klein be the backup. You know, I'm gonna actually sign this dance guy because He's only 3 stars, but the 3 green stars, which are like guarantee like an 80 overall, which is a perfect backup number. All right, so I might as well just try to sign him. There you go. Perfect. All right, so let's simulate how much time we got. Yeah, we can maybe get the season started. I don't know. We may have to stop just at the line changes so that you guys can see the line changes and see how we should arrange everything. But I definitely like our defensive situation this year a lot more than last year. Connor Murphy, no. Yeah, we got those 2 guys. All right. I know you guys are still thinking that I overextended for that trade, but it was a trade that we needed to make, all right? So we got that backup goalie now in Norbert Klein, who could be a future superstar for us. So we don't have to worry about picking up another goalie for like another 10 years because Brayden Holtby, we can't sign Chris Neal. Apparently the salary cap. All right, whatever, 1.3 mil, whatever. We just won't sign him. We don't have enough room. But what was I saying? Yeah, you don't have to worry about goalies for like another 10 years because Holtby, you got him signed for 5 years, and Klein is like 21 years old, all right? Defensively now, you got Johnson and Green up front that can hold it down for the immediate future. Oh, my God. Toronto Maple Leafs want to offer me Jake Gardiner for Johansson and Perreault. That is a trade that is worth taking a look at least, all right? Jake Gardiner, he's only 23 years old. He's still on his minor league contract at 1.115 mil, all right? He's 86 overall. I mean, he's 4.5 gold stars. He's still getting better. I mean, Jesus, how could I say no to this right now? Discipline is up there. He's definitely an offensive defenseman. Even though he's listed as a two-way defenseman, he's definitely an offensive defenseman. Oh, my God. This guy, he'd be better than Green. He literally would be better than Green right now. How much years left on his contract? What's this year? He's probably got 1 more year left. Yeah, he's got 1 more year left. Oh, how could I say no to this? This is a tough trade. This is a tough trade. I'm getting a really good player here in Jake Gardiner. Really good player. Now, they're asking for 2 really good players back, though. Here's the thing. I guess Toronto has a ton of defenders. They need some depth. They need some depth forwards here. Johansson, I mean, he's my Ribeiro of the future. He's my second liner of the future. And Perreault, I wouldn't mind trading Perreault. Even though he's our third liner right now, he progressed pretty good. He's 82 overall. He's only 3.5 stars, right? So you could see it next year where he drops back down to 81 overall. I've seen that happen before. So I wouldn't be opposed to trading away Matthew Perreault. It's just Johansson that I don't really want to give up, all right? And Johansson's got a pretty good trade value. So you know what we'll do here? I'll take off Johansson. All right, let's see if we can add a defenseman here because I wouldn't mind getting Jake Gardiner. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I could give up Cam Barker and have Jake Gardiner, and I'd save some salary cap for that. All right, so hang on. If I got Eric Johnson, Morrissey I'm holding on to. He stays. But, I mean, we could really give away Mike Green now for straight up for Jake Gardiner. I don't want to. Well, definitely not this year. Oh, my God. This is a tough trade here. All right, Cam Barker. I got to make this trade go through. This is too gravy. All right, so they really can't accept more because of salary cap. Look at their salary cap. It's 0.34, so I can't offer any more players with some salary. All right, but Perreault and Barker, straight up like that. I don't think they'll accept that. I'm losing Perreault, which is losing another third liner. But damn, man, how could I say no to this? I would have an amazing defensive core. And then, like, you're giving up offense for defense here. They want to give up. Yeah, they have way too many defensemen. That's why they got Morgan Riley, Franzen, Phaneuf. All right, Gunnarsson they still have. What about this Duclair guy? 17 years old. I don't think he's not ready to go yet. I'm not trading for any prospects. Do they have somebody that could replace Perreault there on the third line? Just somebody that I could just throw in there to replace it. No, I don't want interested in giving away. Hang on. Oh, no, yeah, I have to see that. Never mind. I mean, I could go after Kuhlman. But the only thing about Kuhlman is I think his trade value is the exact same as Barker's. It's pretty much the exact same. So you're just adding to the deal here. They're not going to accept that. All right, hang on a sec here. I got to figure something out here. I know this is going to take a while, but this is just they're throwing me a bone here, and it's way too juicy. Could you imagine the future now? Now I can definitely give up Mike Green. Now I got Gardiner, Johnson, and Morrissey in this system. Not to mention Alzner and Carlson. All right, I mean, dang, Gardiner's way too good. He's a future top 2 defenseman for maybe 2 second liners. All right, I mean it's worth it. Jake Gardiner's worth it. I got to make this trade go through. All right, I wouldn't do it if it was, what's his name, Johansson, but now with it being Barker, I've got to make it go through. Klein and Holtby, I got to hold on to. Maybe I can give them a goalie here. Maybe this Dance guy that I just signed, or Gustafsson. I can give him Gustafsson. Okay, they can still accept that even though it's over the salary cap. That's good. All right, give him Gustafsson, and Dance can replace Gustafsson. Defenseman. Murphy, I got to hold on to. Low, D. All these guys are like 3.5 stars, right? Yeah, I got to hold on to all the 3.5 star guys. Hillen. I give up, I'll give up Rissling because he was the 3.5 red stars. Yeah, I'll give it this Rissling guy, and they still accept it. All right, I can see this going through now. Jake Gardiner for Perreault. We're losing a third line. You know what? Give me back Kuhlman. Give me back Kuhlman. He could fill up that third line for. Oh, they don't want to give up Kuhlman. What about Ashton? Is he ready to go yet? 74 overall, not the greatest. They do want to give him up, though. I know this is taking a while here, boys, but I want to make sure I get the right deal here. We'll try Nikolai Kuhlman. If this doesn't go through, I'll take Kuhlman off there, but I wouldn't mind just getting someone to replace Perreault there on the third line is important, all right? I can't give up any more spots. All the good free agents are probably taken by now as well. Let's see if there's any other players we can give up here. Forwards, right wingers. No, I'm holding on to Corriveau. Left wingers, Eriksson, Stephenson. No. Holding on to all those guys. Centers. Hamill, no. Nordstrom, Boyster, no. Domi, no. Hendricks, no. Got to hold on to those guys. Maybe another defensive prospect. I have so many of them anyways. Murphy, Bertilson, Lowe, Dietz, Bystrom. Yeah, I have way too many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3.5 star defensemen. I can give up one of them. I'll give the oldest one, all right? Give the oldest guy. Who is the oldest guy? 22 years old, Bertilson, but he's only got 1 year left. They want to, yeah, they'll accept that. That's fine. All right, yeah, they'll accept that still. All right, so we're trading away Kuhlman for Perreault, Gardiner for Barker, and then we're adding in Gustafsson, Rissling, and Bertilson just to make the trade go through. All right, I really like this deal. If this goes through, watch out, because the Washington Capitals are now a powerhouse with Jake Gardiner. All right, we're going to have such good defensemen. Come on, will it go through? Yes, it did. All right. Well, this is surprising. When I heard you were submitting a counter-proposal, I expected changes to benefit your team, not Toronto. However, if you are happy with this deal, I'd be a fool to say no. I'm happy with that deal, all right? So, holy crap, boys. Washington just acquired Jake freaking Gardiner. All right, so let's get to the end here, and we'll check out the lines. We won't be able to start the simulation. This video is already going on pretty long. I want to make sure I don't miss any of this, actually. I want to make sure I don't get any of this friggin' deleted. It's already gone pretty long, but we'll just keep going here. Hang on. We're already in July. You know what? Hang on 1 second, boys. Let me just stop the simulation. I'm not going to stop the video just yet. We'll still get a few more minutes. I know it's going to be a long one, but let me just stop it so I don't lose this because we've already gone over 20. Hang on 1 second, boys. All right, so let's keep it up here. Let's go all the way up to the regular season just so we can check out our lineups now, all right? Wow. So last year, we were running gun offense. We were all like scoring, couldn't keep the puck out of our net. It was our two, average, below average goalies, which have gotten a lot better this year. Brayden Holtby has gotten a lot better, so that'll help. Our defense was semi-weak last year, all right, but now we've taken out Dmitry Orlov, all right, we've taken out Cam Barker, but we've inserted Eric Johnson, and we've inserted Jake Gardiner, who is now a top 4 defenseman. Remember, this is a year 2 Jake Gardiner, not a year 1 Jake Gardiner, all right, and offensively, we've lost Brooks Like, but you know what? We had to make that. That trade. It was overextending a little bit, but we had to make that move for that defensive defenseman to help out our team. All right. I want to see what our team looks like now. I'd say our fourth line is a bit weak. Even our third line may be a little bit weak, even though we got Nikolai Kuhlman to replace Perreault. But I still think that our team is better off this year than it was last year. All right. Hang on 1 second. I gotta blow my nose again. Yeah, that's much better. Go for a drink as well. All right, so here we go. Get up to the September 16th. That'll start the preseason usually. Our salary cap is 1.6. We only have 36 players under contract, but due to the free agency, we bolstered our prospect pool. We traded away a few of them, but we have plenty. Don't worry about that. We have a good team here. We're slowly growing, and we're still being a competitive team at the same time. So welcome back to your second year. 38 wins. So you only want 38 wins, so they're still not expecting us to be a playoff team. That's all right, though, because we are going to be a playoff team. All right, so let me just take out all of our players, put them on our lines so that you guys can take a look at the lines and help us out. And then the next video, we'll hopefully be able to get the season simulation started, all right? So Klein and Holtby, they're going to be our 1-2 punch. Defensemen. All right, so we got Eric Johnson, Jake Gardiner, Mike Green, Carl Alsner, John Carlson, and Jeff Schultz now, all right? That is a filthy defensive lineup. We have 5 top 4s and 1 top 6. But I'd say by next year, Johnson and Gardiner are both top 2s, all right, because they're still gold stars. Yeah, they are. Hell yeah, that's a wicked defensive core now. All right, and forwards, let's see, forwards. Let me just make sure I got everyone up. Hendricks, you got to come up. All right, Nordstrom, you can go down. Who else can we send down? Hamill, you're going to go down. I gotta dress Hamill now. Well, I guess I got to do it, so he's going to get the time. All right, and all these guys down here, you're going to stay down in the minors. All right, so let's take a look at our lineups. Best lines. All right, best lines. Let me just do it a few times. So, good. It's making sure, it's already saying that the Ovechkin, Backstrom, and Eriksson is our first line, which is good. I really want to see what that first line does this year, all right? Second line is going to be Ribeiro, Stastny. All right, Ribeiro's on the second line. All right, and Johansson, where are you? Because that line got us pretty good point totals last year with Ribeiro and Stastny, all right? 50 points, 60-something points for Ribeiro. Hopefully Johansson can help that second line out a little bit more this year. Okay, third line, you got Manny Malhotra, you got Dustin Penner, and you got Nikolai Kulemin, all right? So, a little bit different from last year. We don't have Brooks Laich and Perreault. We now have Malhotra, Kulemin, and Dustin Penner. So, completely new third line, but a lot better defensively. All 3 of these players can hold down the fort defensively, all right? And then the fourth line, this is where we get kind of weak. We got Chimera, Hendricks, and Zach Hamill, all right? So, I will say our fourth line still Hendricks and Hamill kind of weak. But everywhere else, we've gotten a lot better, all right? So there's our offense, our defense. So it's saying to put Jake Gardiner and Eric Johnson on the first line, then Mike Green and Carlson on the second line, and Alzner and Schultz on the third line. So you guys can help me out with this now. Maybe we could do, the way I look at it, Mike Green and Johnson, all right, offensive and defensive, and then Jake Gardiner and Carlson, or Jake Gardiner and Alzner, all right, and then Carlson and Schultz, a defenseman on every single line, all right, and then we can get into power play and penalty kill. You guys can help me out with, all right, and Holtby, we're going to go to a 2-to-1 loss ratio. Klein does not get to play this year as much as Holtby, all right? I mean, if he starts to win games, I'll give him the 2-loss ratio, but remember, Holtby's the man for a good 3 years, because that's what Klein has on his minor league contract. 3 years, so I don't want no goalie controversy until that 4th year, all right? So there you go, boys, the new look Washington Capitals. We've sacrificed a little bit offensively in Perreault and Brooks Laich, but with that, we've bolstered our defense, adding in Johnson and Jake Gardiner to our defensive core while being able to keep Green, Alzner, Carlson, and Schultz. All right, boys, so there's the new look Washington Capitals. And let me know about the lines, and in the next video, we can start year 2, all right? And you never know, President's Trophy, it could be a possibility. I'll see you guys in the next video.